What's up? It's Curry Spice back with another video. And this is Saturday, April 27th. I worked for a couple of days just to feel out the job and see if I liked it. And so I haven't exactly been broadcasting everywhere. I've been posting about it on YouTube, so that kind of is like broadcasting it everywhere, but I just really been just taking my time and like trying to decipher how I feel about this new job. I don't hate it, which is excellent. I don't hate it. Not exactly sure if I love it yet. I do like it though. I do like it. And it can be enjoyable at times. It definitely pushes me out of my comfort zone. And that's the part that is making me unsure if I love it or not. It's my first commission only job. Never worked one before, ever. And this kind of goes back to the personal growth journey and training myself to have a different mindset that shies away from the poverty mindset. And it seems like people who shy away from commission only jobs are people who stay in poverty. And that's what it seems like to me. That's what it seems like. I might be wrong, but it's just a hunch. And then also, those who are more affected by poverty gravitate more towards the hourly wage kind of jobs. So there's a part of me that wants to go the hourly wage route because it's more comfortable. However, the commission only way, you can generate an influx of money much faster than if you're working an hourly wage position. So I had to calculate that. I had to figure that out, and I'm still factoring that in. So it feels like successful entrepreneurs, they are more into sales, like more into the sales kind of spectrum of careers. And it may not be always be sales, but it seems to be more sales generated. So that was something I was thinking about. Like if I want to switch from the poverty mindset to the more wealthy mindset, there has to be a mental change. There has to be a mindset shift. So to involve a mindset shift, you must be out of your comfort zone, do things you're not exactly comfortable doing, but it helps for your growth in the long run. And that's what I believe this job or this career is. So that's the part of me that wants to hang on and give it a shot, because with the kind of work that I do and what I'm actually selling, because it's a free item, it's not really selling, but it still involves a salesy kind of pitch, because it involves persuasion and also the part of it that's going out of my comfort zone is the part where I have to approach people who don't want to be approached, like that kind of stuff. Because I don't like nagging people. And I don't like to be nagged either. But for the most part, I've become that naggy salesperson. And that's the part that's not sitting well with me. But I guess I can find a way to get over that. Especially when the checks start rolling in. But, so that's one thing that makes the position uncomfortable for me is, just having to approach people who don't want to be approached and, like being somewhat naggy and persistent. The other issue is the long hours of standing. And I should be familiar with this because my other positions involved standing for long periods of time. So I should be used to it. But it's somehow different because I'm putting more hours into this position. It looks like my 8-hour work days are over. It's more like 10 to 11 hours of just nonstop standing. And that's the part where it's like, ugh. And then by the time I get home, I'm just wiped out. Actually, no, before that, by the end of my shift, I'm just wiped out. And I don't even really have the motivation to even get on the bus to go home. You know? So that definitely takes an adjustment. And then there's also kind of seems like mandatory weekends, but to work, especially Saturdays, with the exception of today because I'm off. But I think that's because it's my first Saturday. But I think there's a way that I can negotiate that because I do have some responsibilities on the weekends, so I want to be able to use my weekends for the English teaching position, which I'm still preparing for. Yeah, I'm still preparing for that. So I need to take a quiz, and I keep doing the mock lesson over and over because I'm failing it by a few points. But at least they're still giving me the opportunity to keep going at it. So it looks like I ultimately cannot fail. Like, on paper, yes, but it's not like you failed it once, then you get one retry, and then once you fail that, then you have to take the test. You have to wait a year to take the test. It's not like that, which is good. So I guess it's just it's a learning experience, you know. Yeah, so I'm trying to factor things in and see how I can make this work. I was thinking about an entrepreneurship with Bird or Lime for charging electric scooters. However, since I would need my husband to help me drive from point A to point B, since I can't drive myself and I've never had a license before, ever, that would be a bit of a challenge because it would involve him to help, and probably I know that would be putting him out because he has 3 jobs that he's juggling. And so I'm thinking temporarily I might have to give that part of the income up. Well, I don't want to say give it up because I didn't officially start yet, but I just factoring everything in, and it doesn't, unfortunately, it just doesn't seem like it's going to work at this time. So in the meanwhile, I do want to work towards getting my license and go from there. So once I can drive on my own, then we can have something else, That'll change my situation and it'll give me more independence. So there's that. And with the sales position, so what I'm doing is I'm persuading those who qualify, who come from a low or impoverished income bracket. I am persuading them to sign up for a free phone. So that's what that is. And I really love the mission, and I really love that it's free, because if we had to collect money for these, then I believe this position would be a whole lot harder. So I'm so happy that the product is free. And I also love that I love my team. I love my team. A majority of the people who work in the office, they're African American and Hispanic. And I love that. I love that. Because it's like, for the first time, and it's not so much the first time, but we don't see many images in society where they're successful minorities. Successful. We see more images of black men who are rapists and getting sent to prison because of robbery. And, those are the kind of images we see, for blacks and Hispanics. However, for this office, it's like a family unit, and I love that. Like, I don't feel like there's someone barking orders at me. There's authoritativeness there, of course, like overwhelming authoritativeness, to some degree, coming from one person particularly. But, he earned it because it's his business. But, yeah, but other than that, it's a very warm environment. And I love that I can relate to the owner, coming from one African American person to another, I just really love that the most successful people there are African American, and they are my mentors, and I love that. I love that because I can identify with them, and they give me hope, and they say, well, this is where we are in our lives. We're at the top. You can join us, but you joining us in management all depends on your efforts. It depends on how hard you work. So, yeah, so it's a different experience than when I worked at the other place before this, So that's the part that makes me think, okay, let me try this out for a little bit and see where this goes. Because numerology is telling me that I'm on the right path. So something's telling me I should stick this one out and see where it goes. But yeah, right now they're at the stage where they're kind of holding my hand a bit, like guiding me and showing me the right way to do certain things in the business. And it's not like, they're very professional. They want me to channel my most professional self, like come on time, things like that. And so it has like a military aspect to it, but then it's more of like, it's like a term of endearment at the same time. It's the way, like, their approach is, I really enjoy the approach to it. I don't know any other way to say it, but yeah. I didn't post the last 2 days or so because I wanted to give myself time to just process the new employment and just kind of let it sit with me and see, like, okay, do I really feel like I belong here? And I do feel like I belong there. I do feel like that. But it's just getting past the uncomfortable part of the position, or the uncomfortable parts. Um, so yeah, I think that's all I really have to say about that. But I was supposed to do jury duty this week coming up. So hopefully I won't have to do it. No, one day, Monday, they say they don't need me, so I'm happy about that. It does feel good to be out of the house. Um, Feels good to be doing something with purpose and making an impact. And I do feel like I'm making an impact. So that should count for something. Another reasons why I feel so uncomfortable with this position is because it's a lot of hype. It's building a lot of excitement. So on a scale of 1 to 10, my excitement level has to be at like a 15, like off the charts. So it's like hype, 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 like very, like I'd be very attentive, very, um, like studious in some ways, very enthusiastic, extremely enthusiastic. And that's a part of the reason why I come home so exhausted. And I'm a naturally enthusiastic and like charismatic kind of person, but even for me it's a bit much. It's the enthusiasm that helps draw people in. It's the smiling, it's the sense of humor which I use. And that comes naturally for me as long as I'm not forced to do it. But in this position, you kind of do sometimes have to force it because I could be having a bad day, but I still have to smile when I'm trying to make the sale. So it could be very exhausting, like between the excitement level, 10 to 11 hours straight, just nonstop excitement, nonstop enthusiasm, just nonstop. And then by the time I get home, I'm just trying to meditate as much as possible because it's my way to kind of take myself out of that rat race because it's rat racy, but in a different kind of way. But at least I escaped the manual labor part of it. I'm happy about that. Um, but yeah, between the standing and the nonstop enthusiasm for 10 to 11 hours, it's asking for a lot. And then I have a friend who asked me to go out clubbing, and I'm like, no, it's just because I just left like 10, 11 hours of hype, just nothing but hype. And then like the club is nothing but hype. So it's like, with the hey, 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 like, and with the music blasting, it's like, no, I can't. I can't do it because I need to be able to channel my inner Deepak Chopra, like just quiet. I'm just really trying to quiet my mind. So, my husband went out to go to the movies to see some kind of action movie. It's supposed to be like the best movie ever, and it's like this epic kind of, I don't know. But pretty much everybody in the house went to go see it except for my husband's parents and me. So it's only like 3 people in the house right now. But yeah, my whole reason for even choosing this position is because I want to escape poverty. I want to escape it. I've been wanting to achieve entrepreneurship for a long time, and I would like to get more into the managerial side of the spectrum, and also the more marketing side, which, because of YouTube, I've been more interested in marketing. And so this job is an opportunity for me. So I'm very grateful for that. And I really just wanted to stay home so I could just kind of just really stay quiet to myself. Just really just be quiet, Another thing, another reason why I want to stick this job out or position is because the interviewers, they saw something in me where they said, she's the right fit for this position. They saw confidence, they saw an assertiveness there, they saw competitiveness there somehow, which I don't think I'm competitive. But there's something my interviewer saw in me where he's like, you don't take shit from people. So, and I don't know, it's because the way I dress and I appear as though I like nice things, like well kept, and I can definitely see what they saw in me, and there are qualities that I have that makes me perfect for this position because it's my personality. The way that I am right now in this video is toned down. The way you see me in videos when I'm acting silly and acting like pretty much like a comedian, that's how I am at work. Like even at this new job, I have like periods where, like, of course I'll be like, I'll have the student mentality where I'm like, and they want you to have that, where you're like taking notes all the time and listening carefully and, applying the knowledge, things like that. But when I'm on the field working, I put my personality into it. Like, I'm like a female Kevin Hart, or like I'm like Tiffany Haddish on the field. And people are drawn to me because of that. Well, just from that alone. Then people are drawn to me by my looks, the way I dress. People are intrigued by me. And there are things that I can do, and I'm not trying to do it. I'm just being myself. But there's something about me that draws people in. And so I think like when they notice that in the interview, like they notice that in the interview, and then the way I speak, the way I carry myself, it was like a no-brainer. They said, there's something about her where we're gonna have to give her a shot. So it's like there's an awakening there. I can feel an awakening within me where I have the discernment to understand why they hired me. And also I can feel it when I'm on the field. I can feel that I'm drawing people in. And it's not everybody, because of course there's going to be people who have a good day, have a bad day, and people who just do not want to be talked to. I mean, I was one of those people. I would pass someone who's just like me, the naggy salesperson, and I pretended like they weren't talking to me. I ignored them. So I mean, so there's that shift. There's like, now it's like there's a change of that perspective. So I can sympathize with a customer because of that. And then also you definitely have to have a thick skin to work here. And I've acquired that thick skin throughout all of my experiences. I'm not all the way there. Of course, I need improvement, of course. But my thick skin has come from living in New York for like all my childhood. Then like, yeah, because people are mean in New York. Oh my God, people are mean. When people meet me, they're like, how are you from New York? Because I'm nice. You know what I mean? I'm like too nice to be a New Yorker. Although I can be very blunt. I can be very blunt. I still try to remain tact as much as possible, but I do have some moments where it's like, whoa. The other thing is my background working in assisted living for nearly a year. That helped me increase my thickness of skin. And also my family, and it's like somehow it seems like I attract those who are very blunt, very like they just speak in their mind. And I actually appreciate that, because I prefer to be able to read people. I love being able to read people. And if I can't read you, that it like freaks me out. So I actually prefer the bluntness, because it's like, I know what you're thinking because you just told me. Yeah, but when it's more of like a quiet judging, like I don't like that kind of stuff, because then I have to play charades to try to figure out, and then I could be wrong, and you know what I mean? Like I could be wrong in thinking a certain way about what I believe you might be upset about, it's too much charades kind of thinking. But yeah, so that's one thing I need to let go of, letting go of what people think. I'm getting there little by little. But yeah, I just want to throw that in there. I'm improving for sure. I'm improving. Trust me. Life is all about improving. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And I'm always looking forward to spicing up your life one episode at a time. As Infinite Water says, we didn't even have breakfast yet. I did not have breakfast. So let me walk to the store and see what I can grab. All right. Bye.